Hey everybody, welcome to our channel, or welcome for the first time. My name is Juan, and here is the place where we are all artists. So we'll be using the colors red and yellow, black, also a little bit of orange, and also white. So I have a 1/2 inch flat brush. I'll also be using a number 6 flat brush and a couple of detail brushes, and that's it. But whatever you have on hand is fine. Paper plate, napkin, water, and that's it. So let's start by mixing red and a little bit of orange to make the red brighter. So you wash your brush, give it a little rinse, and then make sure you dry it really, really well so that nothing drips. You mix the red and the orange. More red than orange. This is, again, just to brighten it up. And after that, we're going to start painting a very simple outline of a headshot. And while we do so, why don't we talk a little bit about the franchise created by Lee Whannell and James Wan, and now having, 5 films? Which is your favorite? You could comment in the comment section. Is it the original? Is it Chapter 2, Chapter 3? Is it The Last Key or The Red Door? Yes, please leave any comment at all, or any comment regarding anything. Let's just chat a little bit. So I wash my 1/2 inch brush, and I'm going to use that because it fills up the space much more quickly. So just for time's sake, I will use the biggest brush that I'm using today to fill in all the space behind the head. So, of course, what we're painting is now the iconic lipstick face demon. Some people have compared it to Darth Maul, and it certainly does have the same colors, right? But also very different from Darth Maul, even in appearance. So now that we've painted the background, we want to make sure that it dries completely. And then we want to add another layer, but not yet. Let it dry. So I'm going to wash my smaller brush. This one is a number 6 flat. I wash it and I dry it, make sure that it's nice and loose and damp, but not dripping. So I'm going to use it to start painting some of the marks on the face. So I'm going to start off with red by itself without orange or anything, just red. And I start by making the outline where the eyes will be, like the eye sockets, basically. So I want to emphasize that this is just for fun, this painting. We want to have fun painting a demon. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a painting of a demon in their house, right? But just have fun with it. Make all the marks I make. Right here, I'm making the nose, basically. And you'll see me add a whole bunch of just lines that are they might seem random, but they're not. So here's the mouth. Okay, and I'm going to add all sorts of lines and marks to start painting the face. Just have fun with it, please. Join me in creating this painting to this pretty cool character, this striking face, who, by the way, is played by Joseph Bishara, who also composed the musical score for for most of the Insidious films, as well as other horror films. So as you can see, I leave spaces in between, like you can still see the canvas in some areas. So now I'm going to dry it using the help of a hair dryer. It works pretty well. Put it on high. Just move it around the canvas. 2-3 minutes. It really helps with the drying. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add another layer of paint to the background now that it's dry. And while we do this, I want to make sure that I do what I always do, which is just implore those that are here for the first time to subscribe to our channel. We love horror especially. And if you're watching this video and you're painting with us, we know that you love horror too. We have tutorials like this on classics like The Exorcist, The Shining, Jaws, and also more modern movies as well, like Hard Eyes and the Scream franchise. It's a good mix of classic and current, modern and iconic. Just check out the tutorials, check out the playlist, and please subscribe to the channel. So what I'm doing now is adding another layer of paint to all the features that I added before. So this is the second layer of paint. And remember, you add a second layer of paint only after it has been dried. Okay, so now that I added another layer of paint here, the red face, I'm gonna wash the brush and I'm gonna dry it really well. Okay, so if you're with me, make sure you dry your brush in between changing colors, because we're gonna change now to black paint. We use it and we're gonna start off by adding basically some hair on the side. We'll start off on this side right here, fill in some of the side of the head and then the hair. And we'll do this on both sides. So yeah, as I mentioned before, I mean, our love for horror really shows in the paintings that we create, the time lapses we create as well. We have time lapses on Chucky, the Halloween franchise, Jason, so many iconic characters, and tutorials. I mean, check out the tutorials like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tutorial we have. We just made one on Pennywise. There's so many. We have over 50 tutorials now. So as you can see, I'm using the black paint to basically darken the areas that are supposed to be black. The areas that we left blank on the canvas, we're adding the black paint to fill them in so that they'll be nice and rich. It won't just simply be because the canvas is black that it's black, but it'll be actually because we're adding paint to it. We're actually making it darker and more bold and rich. So as you can see, the painting is actually fairly simple. What I'm doing here is I'm adding earrings, and I also did add ears some seconds back. I did add ears, very small, not too protruding, but I did add ears. And what I'm adding now is the eyes. So I'm using my detail brush and I'm mixing white and a little bit of yellow to make a very pale yellow. Now, of course, everything in the painting is optional. I mean, let's say you wanted your eyes to be much more yellow than white, then you wouldn't add as much white. But the only reason why I like to add white to yellow a lot is because yellow is so it's just so translucent that oftentimes it's so see-through that no matter how many layers of yellow you add, it's still very transparent or translucent. But you add some white to it, then it becomes much more solid and opaque. So the eyes are pretty easy. Just make sure that you leave a little dot in the middle for the pupil. If you don't, let's say you filled it in, there's no small center that you left, it's fine. Color it all yellow, then later we'll add a black dot. Same thing for the teeth. Now, with the teeth, you want to make sure that you leave tiny little spaces between the teeth. So we're adding some teeth. It's the same color as the eyes. Let's keep it simple. And you add 6 teeth on the top, and we're also going to add 6 teeth on the bottom. So we wash the brush, the detail brush, or whatever brush you may be using. I'm going to just start to basically try to perfect what I have. Make the top. I added a little bit to the top of the head, make it a little bit longer on top. It was looking a little short in my view. Now, I want to say that even right now, right, when I said it's optional, it's true because everything is optional. And even right now, I'm like thinking I'm going to change the background a little bit. But first, what I'm doing is adding a little bit of shine to the head. And all that is just a tiny bit of gray paint that I added. Gray, which is white and a little bit of black. And then I dry the brush and I use that dry brush to blur the edges of that shape I just added. So now I'm going to use black again. And this is for the jawline. I'm going to outline it more so that it's more obvious. And as you can see now, our demon is really starting to take shape. But like I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and probably change the background by the time the video is done. So this will be basically what is on right now in the background will basically just be like the foundation. Because I'm thinking like some hellish colors. So what I'm going to do now is make a dark red. Pretty dark. It's red and a little bit of black paint. I mix it to make a dark maroon. And I'm going to use that in the inside of the mouth. So now I'm going to wash the number 6 flat brush, my small brush, and I'm going to dry it really well once again. A lot of repetition, right, guys? I'm going to use some of the bright red and a little bit of orange mixture that I had to add some more layers of paint on the face. Now you'll see it's much brighter because the face already has some paint, so these other layers are brighter and much more lively. Okay, so I'm going to change the background a little bit like I mentioned before. I'm going to take some yellow and I'm going to add it to the background right here, right next to Mr. Lipstick face. And I use a little bit of yellow and I kind of spread that as much as I can, spread it in all directions. I don't add more, I just use a little bit and it spreads and it kind of blends nicely with the background. Makes it look like there's something behind him that's either fire or some light, or maybe he's getting his photo taken for, the demon, registry or whatever. And that's the backdrop behind him. When you paint head shots like this, playing around with the background really kind of frames your painting if you add brightness, especially around the actual person or the character. Brightness immediately around him or her will frame the person really well if it doesn't go all the way to the corners. It creates a vignette and creates dark corners and a bright center on which the character is directly in front of. And it really frames the character in a good way. So I'm adding more and more yellow here and there. It makes it look again like flames or just something very hellish. But like I mentioned, the vignette, right, which is the corners that are darker. I'm gonna make sure I do that. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make a dark red, and I'm gonna add it to the corners. This is a little too bright, not dark enough. So I'm gonna take black by itself and just kind of poke it, dab it around in the corners, and then spread it the opposite direction. Now it's inward, right? It's going towards the character. You'll see right away. Again, I said it many times, right? It frames the character. So, folks, we're almost done. I really hope that you try this painting, that you just have fun with it, that you just let it all out on your painting. Your admiration for the films or for these type of characters. I'm making this shine on his head. I'm making it yellow because to correspond with the yellow background now. So I added a little bit of yellow to that. Okay, so now for the final touches, I'm going to take my detail brush, one of my detail brushes, and I'm going to add some of that red orange mixture that I made in the beginning. I'm gonna add that here and there to the face, to the red parts, and it's gonna make it much more textured because there's all sorts of different layers of paint, of red paint, and it just makes it much more textured, and like it has like it's not totally flat, it's not entirely smooth, and it just makes it much more interesting, I think. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching with me. Thank you for painting with me. I really hope you love your paintings, and I hope that you'll join me again in the future to paint to more horror classics. Please subscribe to the channel and also visit etherealartstudio.com.